The day is finally over. Dinner is done. The couch is right there, and your body wants to stop. But you do not sit down. First, the cups go to the kitchen. The blanket gets folded. The table gets cleared, quickly, almost on autopilot. Only then can you actually relax. If skipping that little round feels impossible, this video is for you. Because that habit is not fussiness. It is your nervous system waiting for one specific signal. And once you see it, your whole evening makes sense. This isn't really about tidiness. It's about something your body does before it agrees to rest. Here is the part almost nobody explains. Your brain keeps a quiet tab on every unfinished thing it can see. Psychologists call this attention residue. Part of your attention stays attached to open tasks, even while you rest. A messy room is that list, printed in 3D, right in your field of view. So your body gets the message that the day is not done yet. Resetting the room closes those loops. It works like a closing ritual, a signal that tells your nervous system, the day is complete, it is safe to calm down. Recovery research calls the result psychological detachment, one of the strongest predictors of whether rest actually restores you, and there is a 5-minute version of this ritual for the days you have nothing left. We will get to it. First up, the one loop worth closing. Before anything else, here's the move. Pick one object, just one. The mug on the side table, the blanket bunched on the arm of the couch. Return it to its place before you sit down. That's the whole starting version of the reset, not the entire room. One loop, closed. Here's why that tiny action does so much. Sophie Leroy studies attention at the University of Washington. She looked at what happens when focus switches from one task to another. When a task is left unfinished, part of your attention stays glued to it, even on something totally unrelated afterward. Psychologists call that attention residue. The original research is about switching between work tasks, but the same open-loop feeling seems to carry over to unfinished chores, too. Picture a quest marker stuck open on a map. You put the controller down. The marker keeps blinking anyway. A room with cups out may work in a similar way. Each item can feel like its own small quest marker. Close a couple, and the map gets quieter. That's the whole mechanism behind the little round before the couch. And it starts with exactly one object, not a deep clean of the whole room. It doesn't matter which object you pick tonight. What matters is picking one. Before dinner turns into scrolling, and scrolling turns into forgetting the couch was ever the plan. Second, why it's the room and not the mind. Here's the part that trips people up. It isn't really about being house-proud. It's about what your eyes keep catching. Every object left out of place stays inside your visual field, even after you've noticed it once. Your brain doesn't always file seen as handled. It can keep rechecking, on a loop. Think of the room as a whiteboard nobody erased. Every mark still reads as unfinished, even the ones you meant to ignore. So a couch across from a cluttered table is never fully off duty. Neither are you. This is different from keeping a home tidy morning to morning. Those are small 5-second grabs, spread across the whole day. Mostly automatic, mostly maintenance. This is something else. One deliberate pause, right at the hinge point, between the day and the evening. It isn't about owning less, either. Plenty of people run this exact round with almost nothing in the room. Fewer objects just means fewer loops to close, not a different mechanism underneath. Some have simplified it down to one nightly habit already without ever calling it a ritual. What actually matters is the moment. Somewhere between dinner and sitting down, your body is listening for one cue. Is the day actually over? The room is just the messenger. Change the messenger, and the same question still needs answering some other way. If any part of this sounds like your evenings, subscribing keeps more of this kind of thing coming. A thumbs up is a quiet way to tell the algorithm, more of this, please. Here's the actual switch behind it. So what is that cue exactly? Researchers call it psychological detachment. It means mentally switching off from unfinished things, not just physically leaving them behind. Sabine Sonnentag has spent decades studying recovery from work. She found detachment predicts recovery better than almost anything else, not relaxing harder, detaching first, then relaxing. Here's where the reset ritual earns its keep. A repeated sequence of small actions gives your nervous system something concrete, something it can register as closed. It works less like tidying and more like a light switch with a specific flip pattern. Researchers at Harvard studied rituals people use after a loss. They found a similar pattern in a completely different context. The specific steps mattered less than simply having steps, followed through consistently. The mechanism looks like a restored sense of control, not the objects and not the occasion. That's the real signal your home is sending, not a spotless room, a completed sequence. Cups away, cushion flipped, table clear, roughly in that order, most nights. The predictability may be doing more of the calming than the tidiness ever could. None of this claims the ritual works by magic. It works by giving a fairly literal brain a fairly literal finish line. That's why the exact order rarely matters as much as people assume. Repetition is doing the heavy lifting here, not perfection. And the shortcut for nights with nothing left. Some evenings there isn't energy for the full round. Low energy nights are exactly what the 5-minute version is for. 3 things, no more. 1 surface cleared, just the one you'll see from the couch. 1 item returned to its place, whatever's closest, no sorting required. 1 soft touch, plumping a cushion, straightening a blanket, anything under 10 seconds. That's it. 3 small closures, not a deep clean, not a to-do list. The order barely matters. What matters is your body gets its usual cue, in miniature. Even on nights you have nothing left to give it. Run it in roughly the same order, a few nights running. It tends to start working faster. Your body isn't just noticing a tidier room anymore. It's recognizing the ritual itself. This version counts just as much as the long one. The body doesn't grade on effort, only on completion. There's no bonus for doing more than 3 things. 3 is the whole recipe. Last up, the part nobody needs to diagnose. This isn't fussiness, and it isn't a disorder waiting for a label. It's a fairly ordinary system, running a fairly ordinary check before it agrees to switch off. Plenty of people run some version of this every night without ever naming it. The couch felt further away until the cups were gone. The evening didn't start until the blanket got folded. A friend's spare room can feel strange to settle into on the first night. Maybe for a similar reason, no ritual has run there yet. None of that is a personality quirk, it's a mechanism, and now it has a name. Next time you catch yourself doing the little round, there's nothing to explain, nothing to apologize for. Just name it instead. This is the signal your body was waiting for, not the fuss. No permission needed either. This has been running quietly in the background, long before it ever had a name. Share the one object that's always part of your own version of this round. The comments are the place for it. There's a whole side of this channel about what makes a home feel calm, worth a look if tonight felt familiar. An easier evening doesn't have to be earned the hard way. It just has to be signaled to the right part of you. Tonight, the win isn't a perfect room. It's 1 loop closed, 1 clear signal sent, 1 day finally allowed to be done. That's enough for 1 evening. Until the next one, take the small win with you. Micro Wins Club, small steps towards real change.